Another great time to talk sports right here on New Central TV. I am Udoka Njoku, and this is Game On, the show that brings to you a lot of sporting activities, and of course, we'll bring you interesting analysis right here in the studio. I'm not alone. I've got heavyweights right here in the studio. I've got award winner and, of course, a podcaster and a sports broadcaster, Olawale Adigun. Good to have you with us in the studio.
It's great to be here, Udoka. Hope you've had a great day.
Of course, I have had a great day, and I'm wishing Liverpool bad in the Europa League.
Oh, yeah, I join you in doing that too as well.
Because they wished us not bad in the UEFA Champions League. So we'll see how that turns out for Liverpool in the Europa League. And I've got another heavyweight in the house, Remi Aboderin. Of course, he is the Secretary General, Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. Good to have you with us today.
I'm sincerely honored. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
Are you here with a knockout punch?
No, I'm not here with any knockout punch. I'm just here to at least listen to you and then answer your questions. But before I go further, I want to give credit to somebody who is actually in this building right now.
Okay.
And who actually introduced me to being interviewed. That's Godwin Enakena.
Oh, nice.
About Godwin, God bless you. I sincerely appreciate you. Thanks for your support.
You know, before we talk about what we have today in the world of sports, Wale, you've known Godwin all your life, and I'm sure you have. You know his gimmicks when he comes on air, how he gets to torment people on air. Can you remember any one of those times?
Oh, man. You need me to draw from the well of a lot of... I mean, we're talking about someone that I've learned from, you know, for over a decade. You know, in fact, when I joined this industry, it was in his hands that, you know, we came into, and there are a lot. I mean, before I got married, it was like almost every show we did on the radio, hounding me. When are you going to get married?
Wow.
Fun fact, I got married on April 1st, right? That's April Fool's Day, right?
Fool's Day.
He never believed it. He said, because my wedding date was on April 1, he was not going to believe until the D-Day, and D-Day came. He came to the wedding and said, okay, finally, he gets it right.
I'm sure one of us will get to receive that bullet when you get.
Oh, definitely. You're getting the when you get married on the show. Definitely. You are getting it.
It's all right. Let's talk boxing now. As the Universal Boxing Organization eventually declared Nigerian boxer Idowu Rasheed as African light heavyweight champion. Now, Rasheed knocked down Ghana's Bastie Samir in round 2 of the fight, but a controversial decision was made when the fight was declared a technical draw. When, according to the judges, there was an illegal blow from Rasheed, hence the decision. Now, the Nigeria Boxing Board of Control on Thursday received the Universal Boxing Organization African Belt from the Ghana Boxing Authority. Meanwhile, the Secretary General of Nigeria Boxing Board of Control, Remi Aboderin, who we have right here in the studio, said the board has decided to also bring the UBO African light heavyweight title belt to Ibadan for the executive governor of Oyo State to decorate the winner, Idowu Rasheed, with the continental boxing title honor. Of course, Remi Aboderin, we have you right in the studio. Let's kickstart with the conversation. It's been a journey so far with Rasheed and, of course, Bastie, but can you help us make sense of exactly what happened between these two fighters?
Wow, I'm sincerely honored to be here, like I said. And let's go to the issue. What happened on that night, it's a great shame to boxing if the wrong hadn't been righted, if there's an English word like that. The Nigerian, you see, let's be frank, it was being called to Ghana to come and fight. The promoter of Bastie, or Bastie himself, may have, definitely paid for the sanction fee and everything. So they would want their boy to win. But what happened that night in that ring showed that God is with Rasheed. And it's a knockout, round 2. If it had gone to round 5, round 6, or round whatever, away from round 2, he may have been declared the loser. Because he came in, the referee never expected that he would be that good. And then the referee himself is on the Ghanaians, because he's a Ghanaian referee. Don't get me wrong. The UBO organization, that is the international body, did not come there. It's UBO Africa, so they must have given the right of approval of officials to the GBA. So the GBA is in charge of all the officials there.
That's the Ghana Boxing Authority.
Yeah, Ghana Boxing Authority. So automatically, everyone that is working there that night would right that support Bastie. So now that it has clearly been a God-given opportunity and a win for Rasheed, there was no reason why they should try to change it. And that's exactly what happened. So when I woke up at around 5:30, 5 o'clock in early morning of Sunday, the fight took place on a Saturday, I'm concerned because this guy sought our approval before he traveled. So as the secretary, I'm concerned. I now made the call to Ghana, got my, and they now said, there's been Ojoro, whatever, and they sent me the video. Having watched the video, I said to myself, this can't hold. If it had been 6 rounds, declared illegal blow, whatever, or if it had been 8-10 rounds, the guy, Rasheed guy has been declared the loser because he will have been paid whatever amount of money that is agreed before he went. But this is a round 2 knockout. So there was no reason for the Ghanaian GBA to declare it a technical draw. And that's why I now said, no, you have to fight this. I will say something to you, even the UBO, and it has never happened. It's a rarity. If a fight has been pronounced as over, this is the result, you hardly can get it changed. Because one, the promoter has paid the sanctioning body. He wants his boy to win. And he has agreed to pay the guy coming from whatever country, feeding, accommodation, and transition for the 3, 4, 5 days that the guy will be there. It's going to be borne by the promoter or the back or the broker that is promoting. Let's take Mayweather for example. Mayweather promotes. He will pay whoever is coming to fight him. So why would you want to beat him? Nobody is saying if there's an agreement that you should come and lose to me, but let's do the fight. So automatically everybody will be on the promoter's side. But from what happened that day, it's a God-given victory to Idowu, and there was no reason for anybody to try and change it. That's why I went headlong into it.
Well, I mean, what do you make of this story so far?
Man, this has gone viral. I mean, I've seen non-sporting blogs all over social media today put it out there, and they've been sympathetic towards Idowu Rasheed and what has gone there. And when you look at the videos, you don't need to be a boxing umpire, a referee to be able to decide that, I mean, this is a resounding victory for Idowu, because this was a complete blow. I mean, there was twice, he knocked him out twice. So what else are we looking for here? So I'm disappointed in those who have arrived at that decision, and I hope that the UBO will take punitive measures as well, not just restore the result, the original result, but also take action against those who have been in charge of this. And I'm hoping that the WBO also took note of this. I would have also liked to know if it was the WBO who intervened, because I could see a lot of people reaching out to the WBO to take a look at this. But the UBO have done well because they've acted swiftly. This happened on Saturday, and by Thursday, Wednesday, decision has been made. They have not allowed it to fester. So I'm very much happy, because this is coming just a weeks or a month after we seem to have been robbed at the African Games. If you remember, in Ghana, I think it was against the Moroccan boxer as well. So this will have been very, very happy, a hard pill for us to swallow. So I'm very much happy that justice has prevailed here and it hasn't been delayed.
True. Now, looking at what happened right there between these two fighters, it feels like boxing has been recently hampered by a lot of injustice and bad calls. What can we actually do to correct the situation?
To be candid with you, it's all about business. I will tell you the truth. I am the promoter. Even the Eddie Hearns, the Anthony Joshua is Eddie Hearns' boxer. If he knew that Andy Ruiz would come and beat Anthony Joshua, he wouldn't have called him. It's all business. And nobody says, come and lose to anybody. It's a fight. But before I bring you to fight my boxer, I will have looked at your pedigree and believe that my boxer should overshadow you. That's it. So, but unfortunately, Anthony was not in his good state that day, and he got beaten. And since he has been beaten, that's the result. In this case, you brought in the Nigerian who had just about 7 fights against a boxer with about 20 fights. This boxer that we were talking about, Bastie, has had 7 years ago knocked out the biggest name in Ghanaian boxing, Bukum Banku, and he even trains with He was the one that trained with what you call Mayweather. When Mayweather was fighting against Pacquiao, and so he's got lots of experience.
Yeah.
So they knew or they believed that they were going to like run roughshod over ID. But God has now given ID the victory. That should have been upheld. So there's no way that you will not overturn such a judgment that is glaring. So one, I would say this is a UBO, not WBO.
Yeah.
It's a UBO, Universal Boxing Organization.
Yeah.
There are several sanctioning bodies, unlike football, where it's just FIFA that directs everything. In boxing, pro boxing, there are several sanctioning bodies. So when this happened, I immediately appealed to UBO, and it was even on Monday that the UBO upturned the judgment. It has never happened. It's a rarity, because you see, it's always about the UBO did not come down there. When I say the UBO, that's the president of UBO, Universal Boxing Organization, and it's more of an African title. So they have given the GBA the opportunity, the right to appoint the officials, and that's why all the officials were GBA officials. So the UBO wasn't there, but it's still their name. So if it hadn't been that it's a vacant title, they might not have come in. But because it's a vacant title, and it is very glaring that ID was supported by God on that night for that name. I keep saying God because that's the truth.
True.
Bastie is more of an experienced boxer with all what he has gone through. He's been in boxing 2008. ID just got into boxing just about 4 or 5 years ago, so you can just imagine.
Yeah, well experienced from ID Buster getting that victory over Bastie. Now that he has won the light heavyweight title, what next for ID Buster?
What next is all about, I'm sorry, I'm saying this, it's all business. Business is in terms of the boxer now getting bigger opportunities to, whatever amount of money he has gone to Ghana to fight for was not the in thing. What matters is he has won. I can say to you that 2 days ago, yesterday, he won on Saturday night. He came back to Nigeria on Sunday. By Monday, the bet is there. I've gotten about, that's not me, the management has gotten about 2-3 offers for him to come and fight outside the country. But is that offer good enough? No. So it's all about, we will look at it and say, yes, this is what is going to happen. He is being rated by the UBO. There are several sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. Now, he should get up from whatever rate. Listen, Bastie is number 83 in the world.
Oh, yeah?
And he fought against a number 419. I keep wondering why.
Ironically.
Yeah, right. He fought about the number 419 in the world, box rec. And the 419 guy defeated him. So we are expecting that ID, when the result is uploaded, will come straight down. So that gives him an opportunity to get rated with IBF, WBC, and then the money that they'll be giving to him to come and fight should be much. And if he has good management team beside him or around him, then it's all about moving forward from the UBO title to the WBC, which is, no doubt about it, the biggest title.
You know, I saw on the internet before coming on air where Bastie has said that if there's going to be a rematch between these two fighters, if Rasheed wins, if he knocks him out, then he's going to retire from boxing.
Well, unfortunately, there was no clause
agreement,
to that effect because they believed Rasheed would be a runover.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, right? All these clauses and stuff that came into being with Muhammad Ali and what's it called? What's his name now?
Joe Fraser?
No. Leon Spinks.
Oh, yeah?
It's a fight, but because we are not sure what's going to happen, you now put a rematch clause. So in this case, there was no rematch clause. Of course, IDW will be ready to fight with him anytime, as long as we have neutral judges to prove that he is a better boxer, and then the pause must be right.
Pause must be right. I mean, looking at the state of boxing in the country, a lot of boxing fans are not able to boast of the next prospects, but would you be able to name anyone that we can look up to and say, like, this is the person that we can look up to, probably in the Olympics or beyond, that can step out there and make a name for himself?
By
male or female?
Sincerely, I am into pro boxing. The Olympics is amateur. The boxers for the Olympics represent the country let's educate ourselves. They represent the country at international meets and they win medals.
Yeah.
When they come back, the government should at least appreciate them for putting the name of Nigeria on the map.
Yeah.
And these boxers that are pro boxers equally represent the country as Nigerian boxers, which we are into. So automatically, when they go out to box and they are able to do well, they should be compensated. Are you getting it? For bringing the name of Nigeria to high repute. So in this case, I would not say that yes, the Olympics or whatever, it's all about pro boxing, which I represent.
But what's the hottest boxer right now on the pro circuit right now?
No, we have different weight categories. Yes, in the weight category of, if you ask me for the featherweight champion of Nigeria right now, the biggest name. But you see, if you do not get government interest, I'm not talking about Ministry of Sports, the government interest. Now we are having a boxing show. I've been to a boxing show in Ghana where the president of Ghana came to watch. If he's coming to a boxing show, you know how many companies, industrialists will come with him and they will buy into the sport. But in this Nigeria, before you can get the Minister of Sport, I'm sorry to say, even this win of Idowu has not been.
But is it that the sport is not attractive
the
enough?
Ministry of Sport has not even said anything about it.
Yeah, but is it that maybe it's not attractive enough?
It is attractive. We need to, with respect, get people who knows about the sport
more interested.
Yes, that's just it.
All right, I mean, we keep talking about this over and over, and we keep talking about interest in other sports, not just football, and basketball, and we hope that boxing will get the required interest that it deserves, and we'll get to see more eyeballs in that one. Now, talking about interest, let's move on from boxing and talk about the game of chess. Now, someone has said that he wants to beat the world record of about 58 hours. And if I am correct, he must have done about 26 hours now. That is Tunde Onokoya and, of course, his United States counterpart, Sean Martinez. They are both attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the longest chess marathon. Now, the challenge, which has currently exceeded 24 hours, is underway at New York City's iconic Times Square and is scheduled to end on the 19th of April. Now, Onokoya's foundation, Chess in Slums Africa, a non-profit organization that aims to foster development of underprivileged children through chess education, disclosed in a statement that the rules of the challenge as outlined by Guinness World Records. While it feels, we've seen a lot of people trying to break the Guinness World Book of Records, but this time around, the game of chess, playing it for about 58 hours, it's an amazing sight.
Yeah, amazing, especially when it's playing on two sides. Yeah, he's playing two sets of games simultaneously, and he has not lost any so far to Sean Martinez, who is one of New York's finest. We have to let people know that Sean Martinez is one of the best in New York, and for you to have defeated him in every game you've played as at this moment, that's incredible. But I'm also happy that it's going to be a joint record held by Tunde and Sean as well. Yeah. But it's a message out there that impossible is nothing. And we also know that he's also doing this for a cause as well, to raise about $1 million for young kids in Africa. And we also know what he's been doing right here in Nigeria, Chess for Slums, which has attracted worldwide attention. I'm so delighted for Tunde because what Tunde has been doing has permeated through a lot of things, pop culture, politics, you know, anything in Nigeria, you know, lifestyle. He has permeated all through that, and he's done this all through chess. And trust me, chess is not even really big here. We even have a chess federation, which I'm thinking should also have been drumming up a lot of support and tag into whatever he's been doing over there in New York. But credit to him, he's only been taking 5 minutes break. I think he's accumulated to about 50 minutes. So this is also a test of your mental strength.
Definitely.
And so far so good. Tunde Onokoya and Sean Martinez have been passing that test. I'm so delighted for them.
Very delighted for Tunde and Sean, and we hope that they can hit that 58 hours mark, and we'll surely be here to look through and keep following up with what's happening over there at the Times Square. Now we look forward to the Olympic Games, and we hear that there are a bit of threats that has to do with safety of these athletes and also the fans. Now the British Olympic Association Chief Executive Andy Ansen has expressed concern about the opening ceremony for the Paris 2024 Games on the Seine after French President Emmanuel Macron said it could be moved to a stadium. Now, in the event of a security threat, Macron was of the opinion that the ceremony could be limited to the Trocadero building across the river from the Eiffel Tower or moved to the Stade de France. Now, we keep talking about threats. Even in the Champions League, when we saw games between Borussia Dortmund and Atletico Madrid, we heard about threats, and it was somehow averted. Also, in the game between PSG and Barcelona, the same thing happened. I mean, this didn't just start now, and it will take a while for us to be able to curb the situation.
So trust me, I don't even know if it's going to happen, because it's the world we live in right now. That is the realization that whatever we're doing or it's happening globally, there's always a threat to its existence.
Yeah.
There's always a threat to those who are participating from a political standpoint, from a social-political standpoint. And the latest to come under that threat right now is the Paris Olympics. And trust me, we have not heard the last of this.
Yeah.
But still, and I can understand why the French people, while Macron also wants this to be held at the sign, because the sign, the river, is a cultural identity with the French people. It's like their lifestyle. It's attracted to their lifestyle, the sign, which is over 700 kilometers. It's a very, very long river that has about 37 bridges. So you look at French culture, what comes to your mind is the sign. And now that there's a realization that they might not hold it there, it might take a bit of a shine off the opening ceremony. We're hearing that you mentioned the venue. They also look at the Stade de France as well, which is also not new to threats from all of these existential forces that we've always known. But I'm hoping that they will take measures to ensure that whatever is happening is forestalled, and Paris as a city and everyone coming to take in the Olympic Games can have a safe games, free of any danger or whatever.
Yes, exactly, and we look forward to more African athletes who will qualify for the Olympics, and we hope that Nigeria will make it to the podium and win a lot of gold medals, silver and bronze medals. We will go on a break, and of course, when we return, we'll be talking more in the world of sport. I'd like to thank Remi Aboderin for joining us on the show today.
My great honor. Thank you very much.